I gotta start writing scripts for these. So currently, I'm riding one of my favorite bikes, Bontrager Privateer, which somebody painted creamsicle orange. But I'm not really going to be talking about that. I wanted to make a video about bicycle headlights. So I'm headed to the park where it's dark. It's cool, right? You can tell it was from the first year of production of Privateers because it still has the cantilever brake cable hanger and the old style dropouts, but it does not have the fancy gusseting on the chainstays like a race or a race light would have. So the thing I wanted to talk about real quick is that you don't have to spend a mint to have some kind of headlights on your bike. And I think that's pretty reasonable. Flashlights are not a new invention. Rechargeable batteries aren't either. There are a lot of elaborate apparatus for sticking a headlight onto your bicycle, but they're not absolutely necessary. And if you can't justify breaking the bank with super elaborate headlight, there are some very good ways to make that happen. So here we have kind of a random selection of relatively high-powered flashlights, and I'm not going to focus on really any particular brand names or anything because the name of the flashlight doesn't matter. There are lots of these kind of super bright or, you know, police or army guy looking flashlights out there. A lot of them are compatible with different types of reasonably priced rechargeable batteries. I think little gadgets like vapes and stuff take these types of rechargeable batteries. They're fairly common. Flashlight nerds will know about this stuff. So but you know, you can come across a nice bright flashlight with a rechargeable battery or even inexpensive batteries at you know, a hardware store or places like that. I'm not going to get technical and talk about lumens or throw or anything like that. You know, they are, you know, of varying brightnesses, and that one has a integral rechargeable battery. This one takes AA batteries, rechargeable or otherwise. This one is just rechargeable, and it's ridiculously small. I just had that one in my pocket. It's not bad though. I mean, you couldn't use it for a commute, but you know, maybe in a jam. So obviously these are just flashlights. They're not made to attach to a bicycle, so how are you going to go about that? Well, I'll show you. And the methodology would be the same with any of these flashlights, but essentially we can get a strap like this, and I think I bought this one on AliExpress, and wrap it around once and then again, and as you can see it has this sort of thicker piece in the middle, so it loops over on the front and the back. You fiddle with it a little bit to get it to sit the way you want it to. Has the rubber in between the flashlight and the handlebar so it doesn't scratch your handlebar if you're careful, and away you go. And you know, any flashlight about that size will work just fine. This is a 25.4 diameter handlebar at the clamp area, but 31.8, you'd just be stretching that rubber a little bit more, work just the same. So that kind of sort of wraps through itself and comes out the other end and loops around there. And then you turn the flashlight on and aim it. So that works fine. And these funny little straps cost like $2 or $3 or something last time I looked. Okay, but what if you don't have the specific type of strap that I illustrated there? What's another workaround? So you can take, again, some type of flashlight and a couple of these silicone bracelets. I grabbed some random ones that were laying around my house, and carefully, so you don't scratch your handlebar, wrap one of them around both ends of the flashlight and around the handlebar. And you take the second one and you wrap it around the middle, and then double it up and wrap it around the middle again. You can try and make it sit just right if you're picky, but that's going to create just a little bit of distance between the flashlight and the handlebar, so it doesn't scratch your handlebar all to bits. And again, any good flashlight with a pretty long run time, I like to use rechargeable batteries and keep an extra or two in my bag if I'm going on a longer ride or using them for commuting, things like that. And don't fail me now. There it goes. And you have light. There we go. I didn't have the cap turned all the way. Some of these have different modes. Some of them are just on and off. Some of them have blinking modes. So, and you know, I'm not trying to bring the bicycle headlight industry to its knees or anything. I'm just saying there are definitely field expedient ways to get a headlight on your bike that that don't have to cost an arm and a leg. I mean, this is probably like a $20 flashlight, and you know, extra chargeable batteries cost a couple bucks too. And then you know, if you don't have some of these silicone bands, you know, find somebody with a worthy cause and they'll probably give you or sell you a couple of them for donation or whatever. As for a taillight, I think I got this one off AliExpress for a couple of bucks. You can recharge it with I want to say it's a USB-C. Comes with the cable and you need to supply the plug-in like a lot of appliances nowadays. Has several different modes. Has a fairly good runtime, but I mean, I think I bought a bunch of these, and if one of them, the battery dies, I can grab an extra out of my bag. They quick detach, so you can take them off if you have to lock your bike up somewhere and you don't want to leave it where it can walk away. I've got this little guy as well. These were sold to runners in different stores, but they have them on AliExpress too for about $3 now. These ones take coin batteries, but this one here is rechargeable, so if you want to get a look at it. warning for epileptics, maybe? I don't know. It sounds ridiculous, but I remember doing a night ride with some of the guys in town one time, and everybody had lights on their bikes, and half the people had blinking lights, and we were gonna ride out on one of the local paved trails and just hang out. And about halfway through the ride, one of the guys had a seizure, one of the younger riders, and we pulled over and we're trying to help him out, and I think I said something, I guess, callous, like, what the heck, is this guy epileptic? And this girl looked at me and she said, well, yes, actually, he is. And, yeah, I'm sorry for laughing. I just, everybody had a blinking taillight on their bike, and I can't believe he didn't think to mention that he was epileptic. And we would have all been happy to turn the lights over to, constant mode instead of blinking mode. But, so, I don't know. I guess be careful of that. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick spin around the park. And yeah, we'll just see how this works. Here's you can't see it, light set up on my handlebar there, but yeah. And again, I'm not saying that, somebody's a sucker for buying a bike shop, headlight. I just, some people are on a budget like I am, and, it's good to have options. And, I don't know, I was online and saw, like some bike headlights for like $150, $200 that were not like the old, Night Rider super high wattage setups. They were pretty basic looking. I think they were sort of trading on kind of an elaborate mounting system and how cool it was, rather than the technology of the actual light. And I just thought, like, flashlights, LED flashlights are not new technology, and there's a ton of clever ways to mount a flashlight onto a bike handlebar. Kind of spooky out here at night. Should be cool, so long as I don't run into a bobcat or an axe murderer. The lights of the city are really pretty tonight. It was cloudy all day, but you can still see the city just fine. And I mean, I can see the pavement just fine to avoid any kind of debris that may be in the road or potholes or things like that. This battery won't last forever, but if I'm commuting, a lot of times I will rely on street lights for some parts of my commute, and then switch the headlight on when I need it, where it's darker, and then just, turn it off whenever I don't need it, so just to conserve battery. Now the blinking tail light, of course, I leave that on the whole time, but battery management on those isn't that big a deal. And honestly, I don't do that many night rides, but I don't know. I thought this might be helpful for somebody. There's got to be somebody that's as big a cheapskate as me, right? Whoa. I actually bought a 360 camera recently, but I haven't really got the hang of it yet, so I'm still just using my same old camera. And we're out, and still in one piece. So, so I guess that's that. Nothing real earth-shattering, but you know, I hope it's helpful for somebody. And leave a comment if you think this is a good idea or if you think I'm nuts.